Hi, I'm Julie, a speech-language pathologist editor here at Super Duper Publications, and this is MagneTalk Match-up Adventures Barrier Games. It's a fun game to teach your students grades pre-kindergarten through 5th grade different language and listening skills. They can work on things like following directions and giving directions and learn all kinds of vocabulary in the process, including several different preposition words. What you'll get in the Adventures Kit is a double-sided barrier board, and what your students will see is a scene that's on one side. It's also duplicated on the back side, and this is the main way that you'll play the barrier game. There are 5 different boards. There's 10 total, 2 of each. They're in the areas of camping, picnic, outer space, ocean, and grocery store. And what you'll get are 100 magnets, that's 10 per board, that correspond to the different game boards that your children will see. So the main way to play a barrier game is to put students on opposite sides of the barrier. They'll be looking at the same game board and have the same magnets. So as you can see here, we have the camping scene. You'll have one student on this side of the board and another student on the other side of the board. They'll take turns choosing magnets and giving directions to one another as to where to place those objects. So for example, if they pick the fish magnet, they'll say put the fish in the lake. And they'll follow those directions throughout the game. Then at the end of the game, the students will compare their boards to see if they listened correctly and gave good instructions, and their goal is to have their game boards match up. And so the main way to play this game is to have 2 students work together. But you can also use the barrier board activities with just one student. You can choose a worksheet from the activity book and have a student follow those directions using their side of the barrier. So another way to play MagneTalk Adventures Match-up is to use the activity book. It's loaded with several different worksheets to target a variety of skills. And you can use these worksheets separately from the barrier board if you're going to copy the pages and work with students in a group at the table. You can also use the barrier board in conjunction with the worksheets, and there are several different topics and skills to teach within the activity book. You can flip to any worksheet page that you would like, and you can copy these to use, again, in your therapy session. You can send it along with the students for classroom practice, or you can even send the worksheets home for homework and carryover practice. For example, in the camping activities, there will be a camping scene. You'll get an exact duplicate of what the large barrier board game looks like, so they can do different activities using this. You'll also receive pictures that go along with that theme. There are activities for vocabulary skills, basic concepts, and students will follow different directions and answer your questions based on camping and basic concepts. There are also rhyming activities, deductive reasoning, auditory memory, and storytelling. And there's even a category word web where students will have the main theme, camping, in the center, and then they can name different things that go along with camping, such as things that go in the water or animals that live in trees. Also included in the activity book are a parent helper letter and extension activities. Those extension activities will extend what you've gone over in your different sessions to increase your students' learning. For example, some extension activities are to have the child name each picture and color them, or to have students make up a story about a scene, and they can use the magnets to do that. We also have a couple of add-on kits for the MagneTalk barrier games. There's MagneTalk Match-up Fantasy Adventures and MagneTalk Match-up Around the World. MagneTalk Match-up Fantasy Adventures has 5 different settings. There's Candy City, Pirates on Mermaid Island, Jungle Animals, Princesses and Knights, and Dinosaur Times. And the Fantasy Adventures activity booklet and activities within it really focus on helping students learn language and literacy skills. Students will really get to know what the parts of the story are and then get to practice those skills as they use the barrier board game and magnets. Some of the specific activities in the book include, for Candy City, a copy of the game board that would be on the barrier. There are Candy City pictures and Candy City vocabulary activities. As well, there are simple following directions and conditional following directions activities. There are cloze activities where students fill in the blanks. and several reading comprehension activities where students will get stories and have to answer questions about those. And one of the neat features of the Fantasy Adventure Kits is the MagneTalk Story Chart. This is an additional barrier game board that you can use within the barrier, and students can actually write on this game board and answer different questions related to stories. The title is at the top, then they can also write about character, setting, problem, and solution. And the next kit is the Around the World kit. Again, you'll play this as a barrier game with a couple of students against each other. You can use the activity book with one student, or you can copy the activity pages to use in therapy, the classroom, or to send home for homework. There are 5 different settings in the Around the World game. There's cold lands, pond, outback, rainforest, and desert. And so in the MagneTalk Match-up Around the World book, there are again several activities that you can use with students along with the barrier games. You can use with one student, you can use in your group at the table, just the worksheet pages, or send those to the classroom or home for carryover activities. Some of the examples in the Around the World book for the Cold Lands setting include a reproducible page for the background, that is the barrier board. Students will have pictures for the cold lands and vocabulary tasks. Again, basic concepts are included for that certain setting. There's rhyming, deductive reasoning, and auditory memory and storytelling tasks. And again, there's a category word web. And the category word web is one of the unique barrier boards that come in the Around the World kit. In this board, you can write a word in the center, and students can either place their magnets that go with the Around the World games, or they can write words in to increase and expand their vocabulary knowledge. MagneTalk Match-up Adventure Kit includes the Magnetic Receptive Barrier, a 34-page reproducible activity book with 20 target skill pages, copies of the boards and magnets for extra practice, extension activities, a parent letter, and bonus open-ended activity pages. There are 10 colored and laminated game boards in 5 themes: camping, picnic, outer space, ocean, and grocery store, so that's 2 boards per theme. There's 100 magnetic pieces with 10 magnets for each game board, a printable CD-ROM for the activity book, and the handy tote to keep everything organized. MagneTalk Match-up Fantasy Adventures includes a 66-page reproducible activity book with 45 target skill pages, 20 simple stories with a problem and a solution, copies of the boards and magnets for extra practice, extension activities, extra reproducibles, a parent letter, and bonus open-ended activity pages and awards. There are 10 colored and laminated game boards in 5 themes. There's Candy City, Pirates on Mermaid Island, Jungle Animals, Princesses and Knights, and Dinosaur Times. That's 2 boards per theme. There's also a bonus activity board for story charting. You get 100 magnetic pieces, 10 magnets for each game board, and a printable CD-ROM so you can print activity book pages. MagneTalk Match-up Around the World includes a 34-page reproducible activity book with 20 target skill pages, copies of the boards and magnets for extra practice, extension activities, a parent letter, and bonus open-ended activity pages. There are 10 colored and laminated game boards in 5 themes: cold lands, pond, rainforest, outback, and desert. That's 2 boards per theme. And there's a bonus activity board with the category web. You also get 108 magnetic pieces. That's 10 magnets for each board game. And there's a printable CD-ROM so you can print activity book pages. So as you can see, MagneTalk Match-up Kits are great activities for your students to work on different language and listening skills, even social skills as they interact together. And you can get any of our MagneTalk products in a full kit with the barrier included, or you can get them as add-on sets without the barrier. So to learn more about any of our MagneTalk Match-up Kits, including adventures, fantasy, and around the world, please visit us at superduperinc.com. You can even go on our Facebook page, and we would love to hear how you would use these products in your therapy.